afternoon, everyone. Annabelle, thank you for the introduction, and thank you for inviting me to be here today. As Annabelle already said, I work for the Partnership for Advanced Computing in Europe, but the short, easier term is PRACE. Would not want everyone to, thank you. I would not want everyone to have to repeat those words all the time. It's a bit long. So I'll show you briefly what we do, what we sort of have achieved, and how you can get involved. I'm not going to go into very much detail because I'm conscious of time, but I'm still here all day tomorrow, so if there's any questions tonight, tomorrow, feel free to reach out. So PRACE provides open access to world-class HPC systems to European scientists and researchers, both in academia and industry. We have at the moment, we have 7 systems. I will show you those in a bit, with a variety of architecture. We have one unified peer review process, so all the applications that we receive go through one process. You don't have to address the national level to get access to the PRACE systems. And we try also to collaborate with European HPC industrial users and suppliers to create more connections between science and industry. What did we achieve so far in just about 10 years of our existence? So more than 650 scientific projects have been enabled, have received access to the tier 0 systems, as we call them. We have supplied more than by a prime does not have the same nationality resource. So that tells you that it's very international. We also have more than 50 companies so far. I think actually this number is slightly outdated. I think it's more than 60 now, but anyway, that have received access to PRACE for industrial use. And this includes SMEs as well as large corporations. We have a very large training network where we have more than 12,000 people already participated in training courses organized by our members. And for the moment we are the only e-infrastructure landmark on the S3 roadmap. Just to show you where we are more or less in what we call the HPC ecosystem. So we see this ecosystem as a pyramid where the tier 2, as we call it, are the regional systems operated by research institutions. And then the tier 1 are the national systems operated actually by PRACE partners and members. And then there is what we call the tier 0, which are the systems that belong to our partners, our hosting members, but that are open for access through PRACE. And it's up to PRACE to connect the tier 1 with the tier 0 as well, so that there is a flow of research going from one level to another, and we are continuously upgrading. Quick overview of who our partners are. So you will see that we too have some work to do to make sure that the Eastern Partnership countries are getting into PRACE. So I do invite you to see if there's interest on your side to become a member of PRACE. We have different levels of members. So I already mentioned the hosting members. The hosting members provide access to the tier 0 system. So they own and operate those 7 systems I mentioned. And provide the core hours to PRACE for us to distribute across the projects that pass our peer review process. And then we have the general partners, and they fund what we call the high-level support teams. And these are teams of experts that support projects to make sure that their codes and software run on the highest level systems. And then all 26 partners work together to provide high-value services. We have implementation projects for this. My department on communication and dissemination is part of this. I get a lot of support from the partners for this, and a number of other things. So to show you very quickly the 7 systems we have, these are the top 500 levels that were announced in July of this year. So in November they will probably change again. And we now have close to 110 petaflops of cumulated peak performance on offer. To tell you also that the offer is free of charge, so nobody has to pay to access our systems. The way you can access is, first and foremost, is project access. This is the 19 billion core hours that I mentioned earlier. This is the main way of accessing. You apply with a project and we peer review it, and then you get access. Then we have preparatory access. This is meant for benchmarking and optimizing codes. For instance, if you want to move from one architecture to another, or from a tier 1 to a tier 0. You get expert advice and time to test and scale, but it's not meant to actually do research. It's meant to port and optimize the code. Then we have the SHAPE program, which is becoming quite a thing. This is actually meant especially for small and medium-sized enterprises who feel that HPC could help them create a better business case or come up with innovations or improve their technology, but they don't really know how to start, or they don't really have the resources themselves, so they can also apply to PRACE to get this free of charge access. And then last but not least, we have the Distributed European Computing Initiative that we call DECI for short. And this is actually the PRACE partners at tier 1 level that are exchanging their resources to support the science in the different countries, to make sure that people have access to various computers. So then some of you may have heard of PRACE 2, which is the second phase of PRACE. And actually the basic principle of that second phase, which runs until 2020, is to compute you must contribute. So if you want to make use of the PRACE resources, you have to be a member essentially, and you have to contribute to the PRACE 2 program. And this actually means that the principal investigator of any project that is applying to PRACE access should come from one of the countries that contributes to PRACE 2 in order to be eligible. So especially for the countries here today, they'd have to connect to some of the PRACE members. I'm sure you have even better connections than I have to offer you, but you'd have to connect and team up with them, and then get access and use and share the data. Then a very, very short slide on SHAPE. Enterprises. And this because this has the added value of drawing industry and creating synergies between science and industry. I won't go into the details, but please feel free to ask me later. Same for our training offering. So the training is open to anyone. You don't have to be a member of PRACE or contribute to anything to be able to participate in the trainings we offer. All the trainings are also free of charge. And they are being held all around Europe. We have 10 PRACE training centers, but also the members who are not officially a training center offer different types of trainings, different levels, from entry level, how to use HPC, to very, very specialized trainings on certain types of codes. We have a web portal for this. You'll find it through the PRACE website, and I encourage you to have a look there and see what would fit for your needs. And last but not least, we have a number of events where you can also get involved and connect with the people in PRACE and the members of PRACE to further find synergies. So I mainly want to mention the European HPC Summit Week, which will take place in Poznan next year. But we are also present at ISC in Germany, at SC in the United States, and a lot of other HPC-related events throughout the year. I consider this one also to be one of those, as well as the DI4R conference that we did last year. Then I'm only going to show you my contact details in case somebody wants to get in touch after the conference, and I think I took enough time. Any questions? No questions? Well, great. I love it when I'm so clear that there are no questions. Thank you, Annabelle.
Oh, wait, Katherine's got her hand up. Is it a question or a... Oh, a question. Excellent. Go ahead.
Do your worst.
Yeah, I try. I'd like to know, I mean, I'm very impressed by the number of 12,000 people that have been trained in your activities. Can you give a bit of background where these 12,000 people came from? And what do you need to do if you want to be trained?
I don't have a pie chart or something at hand to tell you where they came from. They mainly come from the PRACE member countries. But we do get a lot of trainees also from the United States and from Asia, especially Japan. And what to do to be trained by PRACE is merely to register for one of our trainings and come